going through a bunch of my prayer. I was going through a bunch of thoughts. I was like, man, God, I want to teach on faith. You know, and I'm going through so many things right now, and I just want to get somebody's faith. And God was like, nope, I'm not teaching on faith. Well, God, I want to talk about miracles. You know, I know God can do miracles, especially right now. Francis and Josh, what they're going through. Nope, I'm not going to talk about miracles. I said, okay, God, what do you want me to talk about? He says, I want you to talk about going my way when you don't want to go my way. I said, okay, God. So I was praying around different topics, and God gave me a sermon, God's way when I'm burnt out and I'm through with my way. So we're going to go to Proverbs 21, verse 3. In verse 3, it says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. And backing up one more verse, it says, Proverbs 21, verse 2 says, every way of a man's is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. Mm-hmm. Going back to verse 3, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord. And I began to ask God, I said, God, what do you mean by that? You know, doing justice and judgment. You know, you think justice, you're like, man, I'm free. And judgment, man, you just sent me to prison. And I began to toss those things. I was like, God, why does justice and judgment in your eyes is something that you see good? And God was like, talking to me, he said, because sometimes when in human eyes we see it as bad, God really is making a justice thing out of it, and to him it's good. Because what he's taken through that may seem bad, like cancer, myself going through renal kidney failure, Josh and Francis, what they're going through right now with Frank. And we see a bad situation, and we see pity. But people that have faith know who their God is, know what he can do, and they've been through it, and they've seen him do it before, and they know that even though they're in the midst of that trial, they know his will be done, even though it may not be what we want. It may not be a miracle. It may be death. But that's the part of justice that God's talking about, because it may not be what we decide or the perfect decision that we want it to happen, but it was what he had in mind. Because we can never see it far ahead. We can never see a car accident that may happen. We might never see somebody that might have shot and mugged that person. We never might see a worse disease that they may have had that may have taken them at a later time when maybe we were at a bad time. It might have affected somebody to where they committed suicide because that person died. So we never know the perfect reasons. It's like a deck of cards. You never know the right card and the right motion. When you're dealing out